this sound working. Let me see here. Get this here. Let me see. Mute the microphone. Share. Let me see. Awesome. Getting this here thing set up. Now, if y'all seen, I wanted to pop on here because I was doing a Q&A, but let me hold on right quick. Let me get this here. See. Anybody came on here from Instagram? I just was on Instagram doing my Q&A and did a live over there. But I know sometimes people have their own little networks that they like, and not everybody has YouTube and Instagram. Okay, Letitia, I appreciate that. Now you all over the place. Appreciate that. Now my wife told me she bring me some sushi. Joya, I should have known you was on there, not Joya. Okay, Brittany, I see you. God bless you. My wife told me she bring me some sushi now, so I don't know how long I'm gonna have on here. But you know, it was depressing today. If you don't follow my Instagram, make sure you follow my Instagram. Make your Instagram if you don't have an Instagram, and just don't follow nobody. It can be a fake count, but watch them Q&As that I do. When I do them Q&As, they completely random because I can't set a time because I never know where I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna be doing. But when I do those Instagram Q&As in the story, it's in my story. You got to click on my story and you'll see them Q&As. It's a lot you're gonna learn in there because you're gonna see the questions that people ask. And if I get some more time tonight, I'm gonna answer some more questions on my Q&A. But I've been doing that, and so you have to. God bless you. Now y'all could hold on. Now I'm just talking tonight, okay? So y'all, I appreciate you, and you'll see on there the questions, and you'll start to, realize. There go caramel kisses. God bless you. To the moderators. Now, see, for y'all don't know, Caramel Kisses is the one who gave out my cash out. I ain't do that, but she did that, and she blessed me, and she one of the moderators, and I always have to shout her out for that, and the other moderators that be, deleting and keeping people in check. Now, see, listen. So back to what I was saying. When you look at them questions on Instagram, what I want you to do is sit there and pretend that you me, and pretend that you answering these questions every day when you read them questions on Instagram, and pretend that you trying to come up with these answers. And every question you read, try to answer that question in your head. And then you'll start to see, after a little while, you'll start to feel that tug on your spirit. You'll start to feel that drain. And then you'll start to see some of the questions. You're like, wow, is this a question? And that's what I had to ask myself. And I come to realize, like, yeah, these are real relationship questions that we having. These real relationship questions. And I'm going to tell you, it's only going to get worse unless it's more men that start to wake up. Unless it's more men that start to wake up and speak up for the right reasons. And what I mean by for the right reasons is, I mean male relationship coaches who are going to hold men accountable and set a standard for men, and not just be doing it for the money, but really be living it. So if you're a coach, yes, you're going to get paid. If you're on YouTube, yes, you're going to get paid. But if you're getting paid for coaching, or for doing a speaking engagement, or for writing a book, and you are a part of the problem, meaning if you got a partner and you cheating, or you got a partner that you dragging them out and you won't marry them, or you single as a dollar bill and you won't deal with nobody, but you'll sleep with people, but you won't marry nobody, then you part of the problem. And so what I mean is we need more men that's going to be raised up and that's going to speak up and not fear breaking the quote unquote man law, man code that people don't really look at and break down. And so I remember when I wrote my first book, I was 22 years old. And I remember my best friend at the time, he said, man, I ain't even gonna read your book because I know what you're doing. You selling us out. Man, you're a sellout, man. And my other homeboy, man, you're a sellout, man. And that was the mindset. That was the mindset of a man. And you know what I found out a couple years ago, which blew me away, is that I'm born on International Women's Day. And my message and my ministry is to level the playing field and to hold men accountable while also explaining the games that dogs like I was play. And I cannot believe that I'm born on International Women's Day, March 8th. That thing really spooked me out. And I talked to my wife about that a couple weeks. I say, this is crazy. This is crazy. Because that's 95% of my audience, which I'm not happy about. I'm not happy that 95% of my audience is women. And, because that is, as a man, that's hard on me because it's hard to understand the opposite sex. But I realized that this is not my doing. This is how it happened. And I also understand that, no, I ain't no Pisces. I'm a child of God. Because I don't know what a Pisces is. I'm a child of God. I ain't gonna let nobody write no horoscope on me. Write no zodiac. I'm a child of God. So, hey, I'm a child of God. All right. And so I look and I say, man, and I'm going to tell you, right now what I see, and I'll be honest with you, you have to be willing. You got to be willing to become a 1%er. You got to be willing to become a 1%er. And what I mean by this, that's not a religion. I mean, you got to be in the top 1%. You got to get your body in the top 1%. You got to get your mind in the top 1%. You got to get your career in the top 1%. You got to get on your 3 B's, brain, brand, body. And you got to get into the top 1%. The reason being is because the good men will become in the top 1%. Okay? So listen to me. Listen to me. Now, let me pull up my computer. I need to pull up Google here. According to Google, there is 161.6 million men in 2019. We're in 2021. 160 million men. Come on now, just answer the question. Y'all do the I just answer this. I ask a simple question now. Just answer the question, thing. What is 1% of 160? I don't know if I got a calculator on here. 160 million. Somebody doing the math? Who did the math for me? Anybody do the math? 160 million is 1.6 million. So we going into a world in America. It's 160 men, 60 million men. Guess what? 1.6 million of them. 1.6 million of them gonna be outstanding, amazing men. And guess what? And in that, some of them gonna be married for now. And then the next thing you know, if half of them is single, then you gonna be looking at 800,000. The numbers gonna look daunting. It's gonna look daunting, but that got to be your goal. That got to be your goal. Because I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was like, man, as I'm in the gym and I'm meeting men and I'm in this here circle, he was like, I'm realizing how rare I am. He was like, I'm realizing, this is what a guy said to me, who was a great guy. He said, I'm realizing how rare I am. He said, I'm realizing how different I am. And what he was saying is, I'm not like majority of the men that I meet. That's what the guy was telling me. And I say, you know what? I understand where you coming from. And I see that, because one thing I see is that a lot of men today have given themselves to pornography, nasty movies. A lot of men today has given themselves to a vice that has created an addiction. And now we have the revenge of a lot of these men. And what's happening is the guy that was mistreated and overlooked, the guy that was disrespected, the guy that was cheated on because his woman wanted the jock, wanted the man with money, that guy's angry now. And when the man mess around and get some money, or he mess around and get a platform, he out for vengeance. He coming with it. He mad with women. And then he gonna call all these other men, and he gonna get these other men to follow him and support him. And now it's finna be all out revenge. And it's gonna be the men who was overlooked by women, who was dogged out by women, who was laughed at by women, who were bullied by men. Those gonna be the men that's angry and upset with women. But here's the thing. These men, the way they get a platform, the way they get money, the way they get power, or a platform of power, is through money. They either make money in business, in sports, in music, or in the media. But if in their heart there is a disdain and a hate toward women because of what they have gone through at the hands of their mama, or at the hands of their ex-wife, their ex-girlfriend, their baby mama, these men is angry. They angry, and they want to push a movement. And they want a movement to be where men are seen as above women. And men looking down on women, men using women for what they worth, and they getting all the perks and the benefits. And that's the world we going into, just like you see what the good book talk about, men becoming lovers of themselves. And the thing about it is, when a man start to tap into other type of energy that's not masculine energy, you see the agenda, you see the movement with the clothes. You see the clothes today. These men, area down there, can't even breathe. The clothes is so tight. The clothes is so tight, you got to cover your eyes because the man area showing everywhere. Pants so tight. Now, fanny packs is in style. A lot of times, a fanny pack that these men is wearing, it look like a crossbody purse. Now you got more and more men painting their nails. So with men tapping into these other type of energy that don't come from a man, meaning that it's not a man, but yet still trying to date women. So if a man want to dress like a woman, then he need to be dating him a woman. He need to be a woman. He need to feel like a woman. But if he want to be masculine with these tight booty pants on, it's going to upset him and anger him, and he going to be displaced spiritually. And he going to be looking at women differently. He going to be angry with women because now he in competition. Who got on the nicest fanny pack? Who got on the tightest jeans? Who got on the lowest cut shirt? Who got their back out the most? And so now these men today becoming more and more feminine, and they becoming more and more lovers of men. That they love bromance. These men today love being up under them a man, sniffing on them a man, on the video game, playing on the domino table, playing cards, instead of wanting to be up under a woman, building life, building a family, raising kids in a healthy way. They want to just be with the boys. And whenever you get a group of men together, we gonna talk bad about women, because that's the opposition. That's what we see as the opposition. Hey, buddy. And so we gonna do that. And that right there, that's what's breaking us down. And men want to be the head. Men want to be the leaders. Men want to be the head of the household, but don't want to be men. Don't want to be men. Men want to operate from hate. And a man can't be a man. And this is what, as men, we got to understand. A man can't be a man if you can't have love for a woman. If you see a woman as your opponent and you feel like a woman is your enemy and a woman is here to hold you down, then you can't really be a man. Because now, as a man, if you're supposed to protect and provide, you're not going to protect and provide for something that you despise. Instead, you're going to manipulate and deceive. And that's what we have to realize as men. And that's what I came into the knowledge of when I bumped into Jesus on the road to Damascus. And I had to see, like, man, I've been persecuting women. I've been dogging women out. I've been abusing women. I've been controlling women. I've been lying to women. I've been mistreating women. And I had to ask myself, for what? Why? What did the women that I hurt do to me? And I had to realize that she ain't do nothing to me. The world did something to me. The world made me feel ugly. The world made me feel black and unworthy and unloved and less than. The world discriminated against me. The world cheated me out. The world put me behind the starting line and broke my legs and told me to win the race. And then the woman got the brunt of my pain. I had to realize that as a man. What did she do to me? And if a woman ever played me, I really played myself, because I wanted her for the wrong reason. I wanted her because of what was between her legs. And guess what? If I wanted her for what was between her legs, guess what? Every other man wanted her for the same thing. So from the age of 3 years old, she's been wanted for the wrong reasons by grown, musty, stinking men. So she adapted to the game and she became a savage. So when I went to go ahead and try to be with her and she done became a savage, of course she gonna play me, because of everything that happened to her. So now everything that happened to me, everything that happened to her, then we come together, how we finna build love? We not building love, we building war. And so this is what you have to realize. And a lot of people don't want to look themselves in the mirror and see the error in their ways. Instead, we want to look for somebody to blame. Women want to look to blame men. And women want men to get the message. Talk to the men, talk to the men, talk to the men. And men want to look to blame women. And men want women to get to the message. Talk to the women. You need to be telling the women. Women ain't perfect. And so now all we doing is just butting heads. Just butting heads. And nobody want to look in the mirror. And men don't want to see that 9 out of 10 times when we get played by a woman, it's because we went to a savage woman who got a Jezebel spirit, and we wanted her for the wrong reasons, and that's why we get played, because we barked up the wrong tree. And we overlooked the classy woman, respectable woman who still had her self-worth intact. And we went to a woman that had been turned over to a reprobate mind. Why? Because her booty was bigger, her breast was bigger, her smile was brighter, and we want what was between her legs, and then we get played. Now she got a baby, and now she in the courthouse. She want all type of child support. She want above and beyond. When we went to her for the wrong thing and for the wrong reasons, and she was always that woman. But see, as men, we don't want to admit that. And then women don't want to admit that the man, a lot of times, the man that dog you out is the man that you wanted for the wrong reasons. You wanted him to look good to your girlfriends. You wanted him to look good to your family because of his height, because of his looks, or because of his money. And the good man that was loving you and sniffing your booty, trying to get with you, you overlook him. But the bad boy, you wanted him. And now you up the creek without a paddle and you crying, woe is me. And it's like, that's what you get because you chose the man for the wrong reasons. You didn't choose him based on his character. You choose him based on his currency. You choose him based on his name in the city. You choose him because he was the biggest dope boy in the city. You chose him because he was the pastor. He was the bishop. He was the police officer. He was the principal. You chose him because he was 6'3", 6'4". You chose him because he looked like your favorite actor or your favorite music artist. You chose him for the wrong reason, and then he gave you what you were looking for, and now you're looking sick. Well, why he hurt me? Because he always was a dog. But you ignored the good man. And see, this men and women problem, but nobody want to look in the mirror. Nobody want to look in the mirror. And so what I had to do as a man, I had to look in the mirror and I had to say, these women ain't done nothing to me. These women ain't done nothing to me. Why should I hate a woman? Why should I deceive a woman? Why should I manipulate a woman? These women ain't did nothing to me. So why am I going to war with a woman? Instead of going to war against racism, instead of going to war against discrimination, why am I mad with a woman? Why am I taking out my pain that the world put on me on this here woman who trying to love and support me? See, I had to realize that as a man. I said, wow, I could team up with her and then we could fight the battles of the world instead of being at war in my own home. And so guess what? When I shift my mindset, that's what changed my life. When I made my wife my teammate instead of my opponent, that's what changed my life. And that's what men today don't understand. But see, this is the other thing that women don't understand. What women don't understand is that ain't no man in the world going to come to you ready-made and perfect. That it's going to be an area or two or three that you have to look in the eye and address in that man in order for him to become the man that you can have longevity with. And it is a lie from the pit of Satan's house to believe that God has made a perfect husband. It does not exist. That's why he got to find a wife. And then he received favor from the Lord. But to get to that point, you're going to have to call out some of his blind spots. You're going to have to speak to some of his weaknesses and tell him those weaknesses got to become strength. He's not going to come ready. And see, the problem with a lot of Christian women is praying and you crying out to God. You on your face flat before God and you praying for a man that is better than Jesus Christ. You praying for a man and you expecting God to deliver you a perfect man. And then any man you get that got any little thing wrong with him, you up and running because you want him to be perfect. When all you had to do was speak to that last little thing in his life and it would have fled. All you had to do was call that thing out and it would have fled if it's meant to go. Now, if it's something that it's an addiction, it's there, it's with him, you can't beat nobody else's addiction. But if it's something that he just need to learn, it's something he need to know. And this the thing. A lot of time we don't want to do that. So a man looking for a woman based on her booty and a woman looking for a man based on his bank account. And so this where we go wrong at is we sitting and we claiming that we asking God to send us our person, to send us our mate. But what we not doing is we not looking at people the way God look at them. So we looking at people the way humans look at them instead of looking at them the way God look at them. And so God has no respect to persons, meaning that he don't pick favorites, meaning that he not judging this person. He's not judging this person based on worldly standards. He's judging the person based on their heart. But see, we judge a woman by her booty and her beauty. And a woman judge a man by his height, his weight, and his bank account. And the same for a man judging a woman. But see, when has God ever looked at a person and qualified them based on their height, their weight, and their bank account? But yet we out here crying out for a partner, but we asking the holy to do something that is based on our worldly desires. And here's the thing, is that God ain't gonna give you no gift and add sorrow. So he gonna bless you. But just like you not perfect, the person you get with ain't gonna be perfect. Just like you ain't perfect, the person you with is not gonna be all of that. They gonna have a couple areas that need to be refined and need to be fine-tuned and need to be worked on just like you do. Guess what? Over the years, I look better. My wife, over the years, she looked better. In my life, me and my wife, we joke about how I used to look. I used to look a mess. I wear a 9.5 shoe. I used to wear size 11. I wear a 9.5. My foot is a 9.5. I used to wear a size 11. You know why? Because I was so worried about a woman judging me by my shoe size. And then I Googled one time and saw that the man out of a study of 2,000 men, the man with the largest thing was 5'7". And so I was flopping around. I was flopping around in that size 11. Then I used to wear Dickie shorts, some brown Dickie shorts with a black G-Unit tank top. You remember the tank top that 50 Cent used to wear with the little thick scrap right here? And I used to have the G-Unit tank top tucked in to my Dickie shorts with a cowboy belt on, with a size 11 shoe, and I wear 9.5. Then I used to have on the headbands like Nelly, crossed over each other. Or I used to have on the hat and it's turned to the side. I had 6 gold teeth. I had a fake diamond chain that was all the way fake. I had the fake bracelet to match it. And I had my daddy Elgin watch that come out of Walmart. The Elgin. They used to make the Elgin. Elgin. With fake diamonds in it. I used to sell drugs. And I would get up to go sell a dime bag at 2 a.m. in the morning to a gang of 10 robbers and risk my life. Then I would take all my money and I would spend it in the mall. All my re-up money and spend it in the mall. Then I would get credit cards and max them out and not pay them off. Let them go to collections. I had car repossession notice. I had apartment eviction notice. I was a hot mess. You see what I'm saying? And so I say that to say, that's when my wife met me. Lord knows some work had to be done. Lord knows some work had to be done. You see what I'm saying? And so listen to me. I'm here to tell you. And when I look at my wife, you know, back in the day, she used to wear a skirt with a t-shirt with the rhinestones on it, with a pair of Jordans, some Jordan 4s. She used to love the 4s. Or some Air Force Ones with a jean skirt that come to mid-thigh and the t-shirt with the words on there like hottie or you know, summertime, and it had rhinestones on it. And her eyebrows used to be like a pencil draw them on, just a little, real thin. And she used to wear a real tight ponytail. A real tight ponytail to wear. If the hair went to the side, you would think she was bald head. And why? That was in style. That was in style. She was hood. I was hood. Today, we look totally different. So it's like if you go back, this person you meet right now gonna need some work. And 10 years from now, they're going to look totally different. Now I eat sushi. My sushi just got here. I got to go. I ain't know what a sushi was. Now I eat me a charcuterie board. I ain't know what no charcuterie was. I thought that was a woman body part. Had me a charcuterie last night in my suite. So here it was. I went from maxing out credit cards and running off on the plug to being where I'm at today. because my wife saw my blind spots. She spoke to them. She called them out. And she said, this right here got to change. I saw her blind spots. I spoke to them. I called them out. I said, this right here got to change. Both of us agreed to change and to work together. And we done built something. And see, that's what couples don't want to do today. Today, people want the person to come ready-made. Y'all might need to lose 20 pounds together. My wife's best body came after our first son, in her opinion. Now, her best body, in my opinion, is right now after 2 sons. Where a little bit more of that baby weight and got on there and then sat down. See, I like this. I like that thing to. You hear me? See, she come from the type of, they like thick skinny, her family. On her daddy's side. And her mom, they like thick skinny. Me, I like meat on the bone. I don't want no bone that ain't got no meat on it. So this right here is the body that I've been praying for. This the body I wanted. When I met my wife and she walked away and I ain't see no booty, I almost left. But I remember her character. And I said, Lord, I seen what you have done for others. And I know after I put a couple kids in her, that booty gonna come. I know some of that baby weight gonna get on there and it's gonna stick. So what I started doing, I started bringing home my wife piece of red velvet cake. Anytime she went on a diet, I know she got a thing for sweet, and I put a piece of red velvet there. Baby, hey, let's eat the red velvet together. I had to keep me a little bit of weight on her. Now, of course, I'm joking, and of course, I'm serious. But I say that to say, had I been superficial, I wouldn't be with my wife. I wouldn't be with my wife had I been superficial, because I'm from Florida. Everything about the booty in Florida. My wife, she half Indian. From India, not Cherokee and that there. She half Indian. And then her mama is black, but her mama is not built like the part of Africa that I was attracted to. So both of her parents together still did not produce her no booty. And so if I was superficial, I'd have been gone. You see what I'm saying? Because the same thing with her. I'm 5'9.5". I always call myself 5'10". 5'11" with shoes on. Today I'm 6'4", because I could stand on a couple dollars. Now, had my wife said, I don't want no man that's under 6 foot, she wouldn't have married me. We wouldn't be together today. So this is why I try to tell people today is stop looking at the outside and look at the inside. Like, now, yeah, they need to have something to work with. I didn't look like somebody chewed me up and spit me out. And she didn't look like somebody hit her in the face with a Mack truck. So we had something to work with. Like, you don't want to be with somebody that's going to turn your stomach now based on your looks. Because the person that'll turn your stomach, that same face will make somebody else smile. They meant to be together. If they turn your stomach, y'all ain't meant to be together. But if they are look atable, if you could look at them and they got a good heart and they got ambition, they willing to work on themselves, they going somewhere, then you could do the work with them. But see, we try to take and we try to look and we want somebody when we want somebody to be perfect. And that's what we look at. Somebody say you married her when she was skinny though. I married her with no booty, but she wasn't necessarily skinny. See, that's a difference. You could not be skinny and not have no booty. You see what I'm saying? So I married my wife because she was pretty to me, but I still had preferences and the same thing like her. Because guys she had talked to before was taller than me. Women I had talked to before had a different shape. But none of them women was right for me and none of those men was right for her. But we were dating based on our preferences. But by the time we got together, we were fed up with dating on preferences and we say, "Oh, you know what? Let's take somebody that don't fit all our preferences, but we got the same heart. We want the same things out of life. Now let's grow together." Because see, a lot of times you ain't ugly, you just broke. See, a lot of times you ain't ugly, you just broke. And so that's what you have to realize. It's like when you could get your hair done on a regular, when you could get your nails done on a regular, when a man can afford a gym or a trainer, when you could afford to eat better, when you could afford nicer clothes, when you could afford, skincare routine, you gonna start to look better. When it come time, if you want you a little filler, a little Botox, you want you a little something, and you can afford that, you gonna look better. You see what I mean? Sometimes we just broke. But see, when you get with somebody and they look good enough to where you could look at them and say, they cute. Or they got natural beauty. And y'all could get along spiritually, emotionally. And y'all conversation good. Your goals are similar. Your heart is the same. You want the same thing out of life. To be happy, to be healthy, to be whole, to be responsible. You want that. So guess what? Now y'all can build. But we live in a society that's so superficial to where men picking women based on their booty and their beauty and then getting dogged out. And now they hate all women. Women picking men based on their money and their height and get dogged out, and now they hate all men. And that's holding us down. And now today it's becoming a war, men versus women. That's what it's becoming. And everybody angry, everybody mad. And everybody is you need to be perfect and accept me as I am. But you need to be everything I want. That's how we are today. Instead of saying, let me become the absolute best I can be. And I hear people always say, oh, if somebody can't accept me at my worst, they don't deserve me at my best. Why? That's selfish because you're only thinking about yourself. What about that person's prayers? Why do they have to accept you at your worst, but you don't want them at their worst? You don't want nobody snag a tooth sleeping under no bridge. You want you somebody that done got up, done said them a prayer, done went and did whatever kind of work they could do to build themselves up, to get them some help, to go to that therapy, to go to that coaching, to get them a job, to save their money. You want them to build themselves up and you want them to be in a place that is attractive to you. But then we want to be here and be whatever we want to be and then want somebody to accept us. No, you got to get better. They deserve you at your best and you deserve them at their best, meaning where you at, if you making consistent progress and you trying, that's the best way you at. But see, if you complacent in your mind, body, and spirit, then you not at your best. But if you working on yourself right now, wherever you are, that's your best. And then tomorrow you're going to be better. And the next day you're going to be better. And see, this the thing. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful. And you got to evaluate. You got to evaluate yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to see what you need to work on. Because what I see is I see a lot of broken women and a lot of broken men coming together trying to have a whole relationship. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I see women with ridiculous preferences, Ridiculous preferences. Oh. 50,000. That's all he made. Woo! I was making 50,000 at 25. What am I gonna do with $50,000, Tony? What am I gonna do with $50,000, Tony? Tony, my toilet roll of paper cost $50,000. I spent $50,000 on toilet paper. That's all I'm hearing. That's all I'm. And then here go the men. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. My woman got to be, the next woman I get with, she got to be like Lori Harvey. She got to look like Lori Harvey. I'm like, boy, you look like this microphone. And you want the woman to look like Lori Harvey. And you look like somebody chewed you up, spit you out, pick you back up, spit you out again and stepped on you. And you want her to look, and you want your woman to look like her stepdaddy make $100 million a year. Lori Harvey got the money to look like that. That ain't natural. That is the world's greatest makeup. That is the world's greatest body sculpting. That is the world's greatest trainer. That is the world's greatest outfits. That is the world's greatest perfume. That's the world's greatest hair care. That's the world's greatest skin care. That's the world's greatest everything. That is not just just popped out the womb looking like that. Stepdaddy make $100 million a year. It's like, come on now. But we have unrealistic expectations. A woman will fall in love with Michael B. Jordan and then want the man up the street in her city to look like Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan made $20 million a movie. He got all kind of trainers. He got chef, dietitian, nutritionist. That's how he got that 14, 16 pack of abs. He can afford a body like that. Your average everyday man not finna have nobody like that. Not your average everyday man don't get facials. Don't get massages every week. Don't have no face routine. Don't have no personal trainer. Don't have no chef. So he's not gonna look like your dream. And this the thing. You have to think about that. And you got to be realistic. And you got to stop looking at what you see online and just desiring that because that's what you see online. Because you see somebody, they could go on this trip, go on that trip. Like, listen, people see my wife in the Maldives, and there will be women who see my wife in the Maldives, and they will want them a man who could take them to the Maldives. But guess what? My wife was in a apartment with no lights sometimes. My wife was with me in an apartment and we didn't have living room furniture. I could walk right through the living room, do cartwheels and somersaults because there wasn't no furniture in our living room when my first son was born. We was on food stamps. We was on WIC. We was down there getting them WIC. You got to go get them dry cereal that ain't got no sugar on them. You got to get that block of cheese. You got to get them little can thing of Similac baby food. Then you get them food stamps. They fluctuate. 1 month they want to give you $1,200. The next month they want to give you $56. And then they want to come talk about, we gave you too much. You need to pay us back. I'm like, what in the world? Y'all work for the government. How in the world I got to pay you back when you did the math? So now we were paying food stamp back for years. I'm like, my goodness. So you see what I'm saying? So people will see Cherie Gaskins in Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Dior and don't realize that my wife used to wear fake Coach purses from the swap meet in Webster, Florida, that used to have a swap meet on Mondays until the police come out there and everybody got to scramble and put all their fake coach into the back of their trunk and skid out of there. And people see me as a successful author and life coach and speaker. And it is women who will say, I want a man who is successful, and don't realize my wife was with me when I was selling them fake purses out the trunk and didn't even know what I was selling. I'm up there at University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida, in the parking lot, walking through the parking lot. Hey, I got Coach purses for sale. I got Coach purses for sale. Straight out of China. Straight out of China. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Coach, straight out of China. I remember a young lady said to me, it was a sister. She said, not from Italy. I said, no, girl, from China. I did not know that Louis Vuitton and all that stuff was made in Italy. I was selling fake purses for $30. Then I was at the multi-level marketing pyramid scheme meetings, signing up at everyone I went to. And my wife had to look at me with a side eye because I wanted to make it so bad. And then I was going and I traded in my wife paid off Honda Civic that is worth good money. Her Honda Civic was paid off. It was only a few years old. I traded it in for a raggedy C-Class Benz because I went to the multi-level marketing pyramid scheme meeting and everybody showed all their riches and all their wealth, and I signed up for prepaid legal, and then nobody I know need that prepaid legal, and I'm out here trying to sign people up for $16 a month to have a lawyer that you could email and get a letter from, and then nobody need it. And I took and got a Mercedes-Benz to look like I had money so I could fit in at the pyramid scheme meeting. But women will look at me today and want a man that's at the same place and don't realize what my wife had to put up with. But the thing about it is, I was treating her right. So I wasn't cheating on her. I wasn't cursing her out. I wasn't getting high. As long as I left them streets selling drugs, my wife was okay with me. As long as I was going to be faithful and I was going to be honest and I wasn't going to be in the streets hustling like I was, she was willing to build with me. So and that was her thing. She was willing to build with me. So we went with no living room furniture. We had a bed. Think about this. If you are an adult and you have bought a mattress, how much your mattress costs? We had a bed. The whole bed was $99. Me and my wife was wrestling one day, and I picked her up and threw her on the bed, and the bed sunk all the way down through the mattress, through the springs in between the mattress, all the way down, and hit her back on the metal bed frame and bruised her spine. That's how raggedy the bed was. It was no cushion, and we was playing. That's how raggedy the bed was. That's where my wife come from. So now she have a $3,000 mattress, and it's the second one because the first one, we thought we had a California king bed, and we just got a king bed. So I paid $3,000 for a mattress, and it did not fit because my wife thought we had a California king. So I had to give that to my homeboy. My homeboy sleeping on a $2,300 mattress free of charge that he would have never bought or been able to afford because we ordered the wrong size. And then we ordered us another one. So we went from a $99 bed to being able to order two $3,000 mattresses. See here, this is why I try to tell y'all, you're going to have to start somewhere. And you got to look at the person's heart. You got to look at the person's heart, and you got to be able to see, okay, do you have character? And your character is your currency. Because I'm going to tell you this. And this is the other thing. The men who leading the movements of hating women are men who was overlooked and dogged out. So a woman play a part in this. And this was good women who overlooked them and dogged them out. So a woman play a part in this too. So if you raising a son, if you raising a daughter, you got to be teaching your daughter when it's time to date that character is currency. Don't worry about the fact that the boy is he the star quarterback. That don't make him boyfriend material. Don't be desiring going to the prom with the boy just because he on the football team. Go to prom with the boy who on the robotics team, who don't nobody know his name, and he sit in the back of the class with them glasses on, mind his business. They throwing spitballs at him. Tell your daughter, who is a cheerleader, who is that woman on the campus, to go to prom with that boy, instead of reinforcing going to prom with the dog of an athlete that I was. Because all he want to do is sleep with her and dog her out because he got all the women chasing him. And then we'll have mamas and daddies promoting their daughter getting the star athlete and overlooking the boy who in the engineering club, the boy who in the coding club, the boy who in the robotics club, because he too nerdy, he too quiet, he too lame. He wear the same shoes all year. He don't sag. He don't do this. He don't do that. Mama, he nerdy. Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah, now that boy over there, girl, you know he going pro. I know his mama. That boy going pro, girl. If you knew like I knew, you wouldn't be doing like I did, girl. I with your daddy. Your daddy broke. Girl, you better start catching you some balls. He play quarterback. All right, better start catching balls. Girl, if you knew like I knew, it's mamas that's doing that. So guess what? It's the little boy in the bike who raised with a single mama. All his mama could afford was the shacks from Walmart. He got them on. But he being overlooked. He being overlooked. Guess what? He being dogged out. He being mistreated. So he grow up. He become a man. He go to work on Wall Street. He start to make him some money. He start to learn how to dress. Nah. Next thing you know, he an image consultant. Next thing you know, he know how to dress. Next thing you know, not grown women want him. They didn't want him in the 8th grade. Now they want him at 30 and 40, 35, 40. But see, he's still mad for how y'all treated him in middle school. So first wife, she getting dogged out. Second wife, she getting dogged out. Third wife, she getting dogged out. The women still want him because they don't know. They don't check his relationship resume and that he dogging women out because of his childhood pain. Next thing you know, this man end up on a YouTube channel or with a podcast and he still hate women. And the thing about it is because somebody raised their daughters to overlook the little scrawny, introverted, nerdy looking boy that he was in the 8th grade. So now as a grown man, instead of joining up with Spider-Man, he done teamed up with the Green Man with them long metal arms and they finna take over New York City. Because now they the villains. Because they done been downtrodden, they done been overlooked, they done been mistreated, they done been dogged out. So it's the same thing is women, y'all got to take responsibility in what you doing in the culture. Because it's men who will drink your dirty bath water out of a straw with a hole in it. But you will treat him like the bubble gum on the bottom of your shoe. Because you want the man that's going to call you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you got to chase and seek his approval. And this what we're not realizing. And so you have to pay attention to this. And it's a cycle. Everything feed into everything. But everybody want their ego to be stroked. Everybody want their story to be told. Everybody want to be the victim, and everybody want to be able to blame somebody else. And we got to look at each other in the mirror. And the same thing with the men. The men is getting on here at 11 years old, 12 years old, and they watching nasty movies, and they falling in love with this woman, and now they get a good woman, and because this woman won't drink everything that come out of his body and do everything he want her to do, like the woman on this video that he watched, now she's not good enough. Now he want her to turn tricks and do everything that the woman on the nasty movie be doing since he was 11 years old. So now he take a good woman and she not good enough. And then so he go and get the woman who will perform the bedroom tricks that he won't perform, not realizing what that woman who will perform those tricks had to go through to learn those tricks. And then when he get her pregnant and he cheat on her and she leave and she put him on child support, now he hate her. Now he hate her and he mad with her, but he chose her because she was willing to do something strange for a piece of change. Now, every good woman he get after that, they got to pay the price because he was with a savage. You see what I'm saying? And this the cycle that we in. So listen, say this here video, watch this here video back and forth, and look yourself in the mirror and evaluate yourself. Because see, a lot of people want the prize, but don't want to run the race. A lot of people want to be the product, but don't want the process. And so that's why I tell people, look, it's unfair. I tell women, it is unfair to compare your boyfriend to me just because I'm online talking. And I done built my brand and not realize that me and my wife come from $20,000 a year. When our bills was $2,500 a month, our income was $1,800. We lived in the negative. We had to straddle bills. We had to rob Peter to pay Paul. We had to straddle bills to where, okay, we're going to pay this one this month. And then next month, we'll pay the next one right when we get the final notice. And then the next month, that's the life we had to live. I remember being a grown man wearing fake Louis Vuitton shoes, trying to look special. When I became a speaker, I was doing speaking engagements and I was musky because I had to wore that shirt so many times. I couldn't afford to wash the shirt because I needed to wear it again before it could get washed. That's how broke I was. And somebody will look at where you at today and they all of a sudden want that. No. Can't have that. Like you gonna have to go through your own process. I literally was speaking for the NBA and was musky. The woman who booked me, she said, Tony, would you like a different shirt? I knew it because she smelled that musk coming from under my arms. Because I hadn't wore that shirt so many times without washing it. The shirt was gray and up under my arm had turned gold. So my shirt looked as silver and gold. Have I none? And then I was on the stage talking to millionaires, 60 draft picks, and I told them I got more money than anybody in this room got. And I ain't have enough money to get back home. You see what I'm saying? So you can't look at the product and forget the process. And that's what I try to tell people. You have to be in your story, in your life. You got to look at where you at. You got to see what's for you. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Who you end up with, that's a reflection of you. And that's one thing we don't realize. The market gonna give you what you deserve. You gonna get what you deserve. You will be paid based on the value that you bring. If you bring $300,000 worth of value to a company, they gonna have to pay you at least half of that. They got to make some profit. They're not gonna pay you $20,000 if you bring in $300,000 worth of value. But guess what? And start looking at these here contracts when you'll see, like the point guard, Dennis Schroeder, he said he won $100 million. The people offered him $84 million. He turned it down because he won $100. What is $16 million when you got 84? The boy turned it down, thought he was better than he was. Now don't nobody want him. That's the same thing we doing in relationships. You get somebody who on your level and y'all could build together, but you're smelling yourself. You're smelling yourself, and you think you're better than that person. So you kick them to the curb, and they wanted you. They wanted you and wanted to do right by you, but you thought you were better than them. So you kicked them to the curb, and now you got to deal with everything else that's left out here. And that person who was a good person done gone about their life and got married. Don't let it happen again. Don't let it happen again. You better recognize where you at and what level you on and what you attracting. And you got to see where you at. You got to see what you got. And realize, because a lot of time we think we better than we are. And I remember having men and women that I was coaching. And I'll be coaching women, and they'll be saying, I just know I'm a good catch. I know I'm a great catch. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Well, how many, as far as dating and like being in a sexual relationship, like how many men have you been with? Well, honestly, Tony, I stopped counting at between like 50 to 60. Oh, okay. And how old are you? 30? Oh, and you done slept with 60 men? Okay, okay. We live in a no judgment zone, no judgment society. But that's subjective. If you meet a man who has only been with 5 women and you've been with 60 men, he might not see you as a catch, as a great catch. But sometimes we'll think that we more or that we better than, and really the underlying thing was the woman want a man with money. And it's like, if you want a man with money, just say you want a man with money. Start hollering about you a good catch, and start hollering about, you can't find no man, and just say you can't find a man with the amount of money that you want. Because there's men out there. So just say you can't find a man with the amount of money that you want. Or you can't find a man that's tall as you want him to be, or that is as handsome as you want him to be. But the man out there now, you gonna meet him, but do you want him? Question is, do you want him? See what I'm saying? And vice versa. I said, I was telling about this on the video. I remember talking to a guy, and this guy he's shorter than me, and he weighed twice what I weigh. And I remember telling him, I said, well, bruh, why don't you be okay with a woman that, a little closer to your size, like got a little meat on the bones, because typically people understand what they have. So if a woman got a little meat on her bones, she gonna understand how you got meat on your bones. But all you want is slim and petite women. What you trying to say? So you want me to be with a big woman? So what, you want us to start a grease fire? I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, so you discriminating on her because of her body, and you don't want her to discriminate on you because of your body. I'm not understanding. This is not making sense to me. I'm not understanding how you don't want your equal. He literally said a grease fire. I was like, wow. And then I talked to a woman. I remember talking to a woman who also was twice my weight. And she wanted a man that was half her weight. And I said, well, how is that fair to the man? Like, if you're not attracted to you, somebody with your body, how you expect him to be attracted to your body if you're not attracted to your body? So if you say your body is not nice, then why are you expecting a man to want to be with you if you don't want you? And so this what happens. We come in with these false narrative, the preconceived preferences, these industry standard preferences. And so this is what happened. The big guy end up with a woman who was slim, but she's an absolute savage. and she know that he a big guy, and that a lot of women don't necessarily want a big guy that is also broke, but the little bit of money he got will do for her. And so she all in because she just got done sleeping on a towel in her auntie extra room. And so this man got an apartment. She had her somewhere to stay. But because she's slim, he'll get an absolute savage because that's all he want. Then the woman who didn't like her body and she want a man that's half her weight, she will end up with a man who want her for her money. Because the same way she not attracted to her body, he not attracted to her body either, but he attracted to her stability and her income. And so now both of them got what they wanted, but don't even realize that it was for the wrong reasons. And see, this the thing when we come in with these preferences without tapping into real standards and checking ourselves. Hey, so this the thing. You got to look at your preferences. You got to look at yourself. You got to look at what you working with. And you got to understand where you are. And we're going to attract what we are. And what I mean by that is not everybody who approach you, because even a snake gonna attract a fly. So it ain't just boo-boo that attract flies. Steak attract flies too. Filet mignon attract flies. Lobster tail attract flies. So it ain't just who approach you. It's who you willing to settle down with. That's gonna be a reflection of you. And so you got to know who you are and where you are. And then you got to realize if you get your preferences, but you are not their preferences, and you know the standard preference of this type of person, then you got to understand, you got to really look into, okay, why does this person want me? Because normally this person, right, this type of person here don't like this type of person here. Do I got a bag on me? Do I got some stability that this person need? A lot of times, I'm going to tell you, I evaluate people and I look at relationships. See, this is the thing. A lot of time what I see is I see a woman who she got a full body, meaning that she may not be healthy or she may not be all the way comfortable. And a lot of times I will see that woman with a man who built like this. See, a man want to be in a position of power. So a man want to be able to lift that woman up, put her on his shoulders. A man want to be able to lift that woman up, carry her down the aisle. So this woman typically gonna attract naturally a man that's bigger and stronger than her. When you see this woman and she got and she full size and this man is like this right here, a lot of time this man don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of. But this woman got a nice apartment or a nice house. She got her nice car with her 20s on there. She got a good paying job and she getting a raise every year. This man is making music in her closet while she at work because he got a record and he can't get no job other than the warehouse, but he can't get to the warehouse because she got to be to work and don't have the time to get him to the warehouse. So he end up living off of her. He living off of her, or he go get on a job and he cheat on her with somebody his size. So when you start to really evaluate how these things come together, you start to look at it. Then you will see this man who looked like the bottom of a remote. And he will be with a woman who looked like God hand chiseled her. And when you look at it, that woman is all beauty and very little brains. And this man got a bag on him that could take care of her mama, her sisters, and everything. And he think he looked good because his money done got to his head. Really, this lady was looking for a man who she know body is not desirable by most women, but he got bread, and she needs some bread to eat and to spend. And now, so you will see these mismatched relationships. And then a lot of times when you see the relationships that actually end up working, the husband and the wife look like siblings. They look similar to each other. And what y'all need to stop saying that about me and my wife. Because we not the same complexion. So stop trying me. But see, when you naturally go for where your level, that person gonna look like you. Me and my wife, we built about the same and we look about the same. Our nose, our cheeks, this looks compatible. So you have to pay attention to when a couple not looks compatible, what else is in the water? And see, a lot of people don't realize that. What else is in the water? Me and my wife, we got the same body. Neither one of us got abs. Both of us got a little flap that we want to get rid of. And we could hide it under a shirt. We got the same kind of body. We got the same kind of looks. You see what I'm saying? And so it fit. And I had to realize that. Because I could have looked at a woman who was boop, 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 choo, 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 Coke bottle. But if I'm not over 6 foot, that woman that got that absolute perfectly chiseled Greek sculpture shape, she want her 6'2", 6'4" man. She don't want no 5'2" man. So I had to realize that. And so now if she all of a sudden want me when I got money, because guess what? The women that had everything perfect from head to toe, they never wanted me. They never wanted me because I was too short. But see, now that I'm earning money, if I was single, them type of women, they'll be open to it now that I done got my bag up. But see, my wife, who according to society standards, she was beautiful, but she didn't have that Coke bottle shape that the world praised. So guess what? The superficial men, they overlook her. The pro athletes and stuff that was getting ready to go pro, we was D1. The ones that look decent and they getting ready to go pro, they overlook her. The women that people say, was perfect, they overlooked me. We looked at each other and realized we on the same level, we could build together. Certain people in the world gonna overlook us and we don't want them, they don't want us, or we shouldn't want them. Let's build together. And that's what couples not doing. Women looking for men with money and men looking for a woman with a booty. And so that's the thing. Somebody say your wife gorgeous. Yeah, she gorgeous. But the person you see is not the same person that I met. The person that you see in me today is not the same person she met. We grew together. So you got to understand that you gonna look better when you build together and you build and you get money. And now you can go get a facial that costs $300 every 4 weeks. When you could go get your hair done and it costs whatever it need to cost. When you could go get your nails done every week. When you could have a face care routine that costs $3,000-$4,000. That's gonna have your skin popping. Without that right there, you're gonna look different. So we both had to choose each other. And that's why I try to get people to understand, like, be realistic in your expectations and know where you are when you get in with somebody, and stop seeking approval. The reason why so many people can't find a relationship is because we seeking approval. We want somebody who look better than us instead of somebody that's on our level. We want somebody who is better than us, because if we can get them, it'll make us feel good about ourselves. So a lot of times, everybody in the school, from the quiet woman, the quiet girl who sit in the back of the class, to the star cheerleader, all of them want the quarterback. From the guy who sit in the back of the class who was quiet and get bullied to the star quarterback want the star cheerleader. Everybody want the same person. And everybody can't have the same person. And the person that everybody want got a line of people that want them. And that person is only that person because of societal constructs, and the media has said this look is the look that's in style. And so we allow society to tell us what look good and what is unattractive. And then that's what we want. And then we will ignore completely a person's heart, their integrity, and their character if they don't fit the societal norms of what we call attractive. And that's what is got so many people single and unhappy, because they don't want their level. They want a level up, and they don't want to do what it takes to get to that level. And the other people who are realistic and single is simply because of timing. It just life happen in seasons. So you got to know, if you single and you ready, it's just a matter of time. You got to stay consistent. You got to keep your countenance pure, happy, whole. You got to keep pressing forward, because God ain't gonna put more on you than you should bear. So if you single and you ready and you realistic about who you want to be with, and you okay with being somebody on your level, and you're not seeking somebody on another level, then guess what? You are not meeting that person right now because it's other work that you need to be focusing on. Your books need to be produced. Your company need to be produced. Your next company need to be produced. You still could work while you wait. Don't sit idle and get mad with God. Keep working on you, because it's always something better, something else you could be doing. Keep working on you and know that it's coming when it's supposed to come. And that's what you got to realize. That's what you got to understand. So, hey, thank y'all to my moderators helping me out in here. Grabbing, stuff and posting stuff in here. I appreciate you. And hopefully y'all could listen back to the video. I know you can't do two things at once. So for those of y'all typing, you missed something. And if you read and you missed something. So make sure you could go back and get the here message, get this in your spirit. My sushi done got cold. Y'all don't let my sushi get cold now. Come on now. You see here, this is the thing. I'm up here sacrificing the shadows here word on this good Sunday. Now my sushi cold. And for a country boy like me, I need that thing to be hot, because I don't eat the raw, I eat the cooked sushi. So I need a thing to be hot, because I barely could get through it. Now I eat it trying to be bougie. Now I'm trying to feel bougie, trying to get to a place to where I could be bougie and not be a country bumpkin. And so now y'all done let my sushi get cold, and now I got to go ahead and try to fight through it. So make sure you listen back to this here message, get this in your spirit. Hey, this is Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We'll talk soon.